Here we are, October 10th. I haven't posted much recently because I've kind of been in groundhog mode. So it's been very hot here. We've been in the mid to high 90s since I think mid-May. And our temperatures are not really backing off. We're in the second week of October. Our 10-day forecast is calling for nothing but 90s. And it's almost never ending. We rarely get clouds and even less rain. So we are in drought and we are at very high risk of fire right now. So I've been spending most of my time watering, some weeding, a little bit of editing here and there, and mostly hiding out in the shade because it's just too hot to work in this. I really feel kind of worn down by the last 3.5 months. So I know many people are gearing up for winter, but I've been sitting here in a holding pattern waiting for the temps to get into the 80s so that I can start planting. I have a lot of things that are ready to go in the ground, but we're going to go through and try and do a bit of a walkthrough. The kind of leafy green bed is looking really good. Many of these plants have gotten a lot bigger than I was expecting. Some tropical hibiscus in there. These are the heliconia or lobster claw, and very large ice cream banana. Ended up being a lot bigger than I expected. Kind of cleaned this bed out, put in some turmeric. We got some nice little Camedoria radicalis in here. These aren't the thickest banana trunks I've ever seen, but they're pretty thick. I'd say it's about 15 feet overall height right now, and the bananas are really maturing. No, they haven't started changing color yet, but I think they're pretty close to the size that they should be. I look up in here, it is way up there. So, yeah, big banana. Let's try and go around the side here and hopefully won't get too much of a glare. I'll show you the volunteer ricinus, which is almost 2 stories high. Pretty cool. It's technically a tree now, little Sable Mexicana right there. This is the wettest part of my yard. It's where the water drains off when we get heavy rains. Really nice. This is colocasia. This is redemption. A small plant, now not so small. So I think it's really an outstanding colocasia. I can see why so many people like it. And I've been taking some of my Waikiki and spreading them around. This is a kind of wacky looking bamboo right here. This is a Bambusa multiplex, and this is silver stripe. It does throw variegated leaves. I think because it's in a lot of sun, they kind of fade out to green, but it's got to be about 12 feet wide. It's unlike bamboo or the bamboo that I'm accustomed to growing that puts out a really big flush in spring, and that's about it. This thing just continually grows. I guess it is classified as a tropical bamboo. It is a clumper, but it's already wider than I was expecting. There's the latest shoot coming up. Get the big Rajapuri banana. This thing, the fastest growing banana I have. This one has a very thick trunk and a lot of pups already, so really going for it. I've just been trying to fill in space like I have with these Dianella, which is like a mini Formium. I've had somebody go through this because a lot of these are knocked down. It might also be because of the heat. All these colocasias are holding on surprisingly well, but this is a wetter area of my yard, and I have been watering them. Most of my palms have grown quite well, even though they were planted this year. So Livistone and Nitida. And back in here, very fast growing sable, at least for me, Sable Mexicana. Really happy with the growth rate on that one. And I've just been tucking things in like that Hedychium or ginger, hardy ginger. So Sable Cossierum that's finally starting to grow. Very big immature leaves on that one. Really looking forward to that putting on some size. Pink bananas. This is a Musa Valentina. Probably 8 or 9 feet tall now. And I have 2 clumps in here. I put in one individual pseudostem, just one little small stalk, and they've multiplied rapidly and got lots of pink bananas. They do taste like bananas. They do taste good, but they're full of seeds. So you don't really want to eat them. It's a nectarine, and over there, kind of hard to see in front of those crepe myrtles, but that's a peach. Both of them were very small. The peach was about 2 feet tall when I planted it in May, and it's easily 10 feet tall. The growth rate that I get out of things is not at all what I'm accustomed to. This Pride of Barbados I planted about a month ago. It was just a little small start. Very good plant for me because they love the heat. This will die back to the ground. Also easy to grow from seed. So another one there. Kind of a shot of the paths. See the plumbago. It's really looking good. And then in here, it's one of my hybrid palms. This is a Butea cross with the Jubea chilensis. This bed here is turned into, this is probably my #1 garden for pollinators. They really like the Tacoma, which is the yellow flower, and then there's some like mealy blue sage as well. The Henry Duelberg, that's what it was. They really seem to like that. Standard Butea is growing very fast for me. This was quite a small palm in spring, and I've just been kind of filling things in, trying to respect the space. Probably my favorite palm in the garden is the Sable Urasana, which has really started to take off. It's taller than me. You can see these are quite big fronds, lovely blue color. Very similar to Bismarckia, although not quite as silver, but extremely cold hardy. This is a palm that I don't have to worry about. You can see here it's got a new frond coming out, and it is huge, over 4 feet. Got a small Brahia mori sitting there in the shade, and got Mexican olive right there, banana shrub, a green Butea, and then those Washingtonia robustas, which are really taking off, along with the banana there. My tiny little Canary Island date palm is over 4 feet tall, really picking up speed now. So I expect probably by the end of next year it'll be big. My growing season is on the low end, it's about 10 months of the year. On the high end, it's 12. Very rare palm right here. That's Sable Praha. So that's rapidly turning into a dense little jungle back there. See if I can not get a glare on the camera. So everything on the right was planted prior to May, and everything on the left was planted up to the beginning of June. And this is the second year I've seen this phenomenon where if I can get the plants in, before May or mid-May, they really get massive, and the ones I put in later, they don't grow nearly as well. So I expect next year this area here will fill in quite a bit. This is the older part of the garden, things I planted last year. Much drier area. And my Bismarckia that's growing far too fast for my liking. Try and give you a pan without getting too much glare. I think things are looking pretty good considering all of this was planted this spring. Well, I'm hiding out here in the shade, and this is the Bismarckia bed that once had the overgrowth of tetrapanics that died as soon as we hit July. And then here are all my little, Waikiki elephant ears. I had 3 plants last year, and these were all just small little divisions. You can see the really awesome color on this. Very silvery white. Again, growing way too fast for my liking. I don't even water this thing. I would say, it's over 8 feet, so it's going to be a challenge to protect if we get anything below 25, which is our average low. However, we seem to be breaking that trend on just about every year. Just give you a little shot here. The color is pretty outstanding on these. Really, I don't think it could look any better than it does now. Get some mangaves down at the base of it as well. See my neighbor's sable palmettos back there. Now we're entering probably the driest part of the yard. I'm hiding out in the shade. There's some lantana there, and it's struggling. It's we're getting at the end of the day here, so the plants look beat. They will perk up. My loquats, you can see they're looking a little droopy. There's the other one I just recently planted, so I'll have to hit them with some water. Over in this bed here, kind of on the end here, it's a little fried looking. This is one of my Sable Lisa. That's one of the medium-sized ones. Even this lantana is looking rough today. Austin Pretty Limits oleander, great bush, fire bush. This one here, one of my favorites. You can see this mealy blue sage is looking a little bit rough, but it will perk up. Giant milkweed, mule palm, just kind of a repeat of the plants you just saw. You know it's dry when the Turk's cap are starting to yellow up. We're going to have to water those guys. This is almond verbena, probably one of the best smelling plants you'll ever get, and you can see it needs some water. Even the hot lip salvia is in rough shape. This bed here, very hard to keep it happy. I've been watering it every second day. So I cleaned out a lot of things that died in here, and what we got over here is that's a little Marcus. It's a mostly Washingtonia foliifera, and Hesperalo yucca, my new friend. I've started planting these in more spots. It's a really lovely, this is called Lime Sizzler firebush. There's a Washingtonia back there that struggles, and that's a Sable Riverside. So more salvias, Texas Mountain Laurel. This thing looks, very green. It's actually growing because I've been watering this garden. It's doing great. See, all the plants are droopy right now. And if you look back here, I'll zoom in for you. So those are some bald cypress. You can see how they've lost all their needles for the year. It's just so dry. And then these pines, they've been dropping needles like crazy. Here's the final garden bed. One of the first ones I put in. Again, very dry. So these dwarf Mexican petunias with the purple flowers, those are very good, tough plants. We've got some more of the Hesperaloe in here, and then back here I got the firecracker plant, which is a really cool plant. It's spreading, so I plan to lift some of the new shoots and put them in other spots of the yard. Very drought tolerant. It can really take the heat. The sable black burniana, I'm sorry it's in the shade there. Sable black burniana was collected by the English, brought over to England as sable black burniana. A lot of people say that this is just a Bermudana because that's where it came from. People who grow them together say that they are not the same palm. It may be a stable form of like a different like sport of Bermudana, but that's done really well. Get some more oleander pomegranates. I'm really starting to, especially second year here, I'm finding this bed in particular I have to put in plants that can take the dry. Yucca rostrata that's just kind of struggling. Even my Salvia gregii, they're looking okay. Sable Lisa, my big one's putting out its very first kind of split leaf. It's over 5 feet tall. Kind of looks weird, doesn't look like much at the moment. I'm trying not to get my shadow on it, but starting to form a small trunk. All right, well, we overheated. It's one of the hazards of trying to make videos here in the summer, or yes, the fall. The Washingtonia robusta, there's actually a Serenoa repens underneath it. You can't really see it. Dwarf fig that all the animals steal my figs. Got a mule palm hiding back there. Plumeria, the Butia yate crossed with the Jubea chilensis that's really starting to come into its own here. Over 5 feet tall. Let's see if I can get in here. There's the mule palm hiding out. I planted 2 this year. I got 2 left in pots, and these things only started growing in the last month. I guess they were just getting settled. Yucca cernua, a banana that is obviously showing signs of being burnt. I put this in as a filler. I'm going to transplant it I'm going to wait till spring or March. I'm going to wait till March, and then I'm going to transplant it to a different area of the yard. Salvia gregii, all kind of looking a little bit rough. And it's a Sable Riverside. It's starting to get some size to it. A little tiny, start of a trunk on it. There's a orange bird of paradise that I just can't seem to keep it happy no matter where it is. And then some cannas, which are banned from my yard, so these will be removed after frost. They need so little water. I don't think people realize how drought tolerant cannas actually are. I do not water these any more than the yucca in front of it. It's amazing that they look like they need a lot of water, but they really don't. They can take the heat and they can take the drought. Kind of back around the side here. I'll show you in the back. So I removed some Gora actually from that area. Just looking bad. So the back side, kind of plain, but we're trying to get some shade. We got the oleanders. Oleanders get really big here. There's the pomegranate again. Another oleander. Got a loquat hidden back here so that when I remove that banana, it'll, kind of take that spot. Or oleander, another pomegranate. So a lot of bugs back here. Jalapeno. So I'm roasting. It's still hot, guys. Very hot. I'm not complaining. I would rather be hot than cold. But 85 degrees sounds pretty good right about now. That's about 30 degrees Celsius. If we hit that, man, I could get so much done. Thanks for watching.